we're gonna do this time on this show. It's gonna, that's part of community also. So we don't know.
You know, I was at home typing up notes, right? Oh, yeah.
So we gotta,
Talk about this production. I got my notes.
yeah.
We're not gonna talk about that today, right?
No, we're talking about relationships and things of that nature.
We're gonna deal with that.
I'm just gonna deal with this just, from, I'm not gonna give an opinion, just from a support point of view. So it's gonna sound like, more so leaning towards giving him a little something, because if he don't, get this here, if he don't win this trial, you're talking almost 30 years this cat gonna do. You understand? Because he didn't take the plea bargain in 3 years. You follow what I mean? If this thing go down, he going.
Oh, it's going down.
He going for a long time. So I've worked with him on a few projects with the hospital. He hasn't always been kind to me, so I still like him, support him. But sometimes bishops will have pressure on him. Can't read between what's going on, but if this thing won't go, he's going for a long time. And they talking about the judge said there will be no parole for at least 20 years. So a case like that, family and all that, I don't know.
I've been dealing with sexual offenders for 13 years.
You know what we're talking about. All right.
A service of Harvest Radio. It's time now for the Town Talker with Reverend Zechariah A. Jackson. Reverend Jackson is founding pastor of the Church of What's Happening Now, located in Plainfield, New Jersey. And now, the Town Talker, Reverend Zechariah Jackson.
Oh, it's good coming to you. This is the Reverend Zechariah Jackson from the Church of What's Happening Now, Town Talker Talk Show. I tell you, well, New Year's here. Was it the 9th today?
The 8th.
The 8th. Oh, man, I'm signing everything the 9th. Oh, God. I signed, the day is the 8th. Oh, man, I signed everything the 9th. So I'm a day ahead of myself. You know what I mean? I wish I was a year ahead of myself in bills like everybody else, I imagine. I had older mortgage man, 1 year in advance, that would be a good thing where I wouldn't have to worry about things. Everything would be taken care of for a whole year. But you know how that is. We live to pay bills because we want to live. Now that's just a part of the whole thing today. I'm just like everybody else. We here in Plainfield, New Jersey, and Town Talker Talk Show. We deal with community issues and things. Today we're going to deal with the food bank that Denise Clark has, and it's been a blessing to the town. People come to me and or text me and everything about the food bank, and I, of course, always forward her information to them to let them know that they can buy the food at an inexpensive rate. And we also have Dr. Reverend Jessica Walker. I called her in today because we want to follow up on that relationship thing and why black men and women are not getting married like they should. So we have a whole job to do, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of ears tuned in, and they should be. But I want to take a moment at this time, too, to talk about the paper today. I should have looked at the date myself. It's Thursday, January 8th. Steve Hatcher from the People Organization for Progress just walked through the door with his little son, and they're going to talk about, I imagine, the march. People Organization for Progress, People Organization for Progress. Martin Luther King lived him the dream, dare to struggle, dare to win. The march will be held from the City Hall, starting at City Hall at 1 p.m. Around 2 blocks of the Quaker Meeting House at 225 Watchon Avenue. It's going to start at 1 o'clock Saturday, so if you can, please come out and, we have to sometimes look back at where we come from, and the things that we're doing today is a direct link to those bricks that was laid years ago, those cinder blocks, you could say, that we are living on today, and so many of us don't want to talk about that today. We don't want to act like we got there because we're strong and good looking and well educated, but I want you to know that years
All right.
ago that they were strong, good-looking men that was working as porters on the train. They had
All right.
PhDs, but they couldn't get jobs. You
All
understand?
right.
Wouldn't give them no job. You know what I mean?
All right.
Wouldn't give it to them and everything and stuff. So, you know, that's just the name of the game. You know, you have to sit down and pay homage to, you know, the beginning. But today I want to talk to you. I read the paper today, and of course everybody's been calling about the Pastor Rejects deal in sex case. Bishop Bimbo, 56, of Plainfield, faces charge in alleged sexual assault. So we sent out a little some prayer to him. Bishop Bimbo got married in 1975 to Anita Bimbo. December 1975, and they have two sons. And you know, we work with Bishop Bimbo and the concerned clergy on the hospital, with Millenberg Hospital situation, and you know, very supportive. So we don't know, you know, no one knows what, you know, I definitely don't know. I'm the church of what's happening now, so I definitely don't know what's going on. But I just looking at the paper, looking over some of the things, you know, that he didn't take the plea bargain, and according to the judge, said that the superior judge John said that told him and his lawyer that if you don't take the plea bargain in this situation, 85% of the sentence has to be served. So you're talking a long time.
Yeah, 28 years.
28 years or something like that. And, you know, we send our prayer out. So if you can, send some prayer out to Bishop Bimbo. And the bishop, you know, I got you in my prayer, the Reverend Zechariah. You know how to contact me through Harvest Radio. You know, just contact the Reverend if you feel you need some kind of support or whatever. You know, they say it was an 8-year investigation. I don't know why it would take 8 years to investigate something like that. I don't know. I know years ago when a young man, well, he was older than me, he said he was going to snatch my mama's pocketbook. I never forget, and I kept revenge for 8 years and beat him up 8 years later. He charged me, though. I kept you know, I would run up the hill looking at him, you know, lifting weights looking at him. He didn't know it was an arm race going on. I was watching him eating fried hamburgers while I was eating Miss Jackson beans and rice. He didn't know, you know, cornbread and everything. I'm eating some nuclear fusion. I said, oh, I'm going to get you. And I remember when I ran down on him in the 80s, and early 80s, and I said, do you remember 1975 on June 8th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? He said, oh man, my God, hey, what's up with you, man? I said, hey, I run in like the FBI, the Federal Bureau Investigation, the charge still stand. Stand up and take the fury of all these blows that's getting ready to come. You have defended, like Bruce Lee said, you defended my family. I said, you defended my mama. Well, I'm knocked daylights out of him, and then of course he took me to court and everything. Things were thrown out and stuff of that nature. We were reminded the judge of what had happened, but it was, you know, but I don't know why it would take so long to do this right here. And this is not my specialty here. But again, you know, we send out prayers to Bishop Bimbo and his family, and may God be with him and keep him well and things of that nature, and that he finds some kind of peace in this whole thing. I'm going to be watching this thing, because this is, you know, I hate to see the 28, you know, the years that they got the day before, but that's what they do. They offer you one thing and then another. Okay, so let's go off today. We want to we got two women here today. Denise Clark, I guess you're going to first start talking about your food package. Go ahead.
Yes, Angel Food Ministries is a ministry which comes from New Vision Ministries at 504 South Avenue in Plainfield, New Jersey. And we have food boxes that come out once a month. And for the month of January 2009, we have a menu of a regular box, which is $30, and it consists of 17 food items. And these food items consist of meats, vegetables, and starches. And also we have a senior box, which is $28, and that has 10 convenient meals already prepared that you can just put in the microwave if you don't cook.
Okay, go ahead.
And we also have 5 specials. And these specials, the most expensive one is $22, and they are meat combos and one vegetable combo. And we have a deadline. We do have a deadline for you to order, which is January the 13th, 2009. And the food will be distributed on January the 24th. And we accept food stamps, which is the Family First card,
Okay.
cash, and money orders.
Now, they don't have the physical food stamp anymore. They have this card or something like that.
Yes, they have a card which is called the Family First card.
Oh, okay, okay. Steve, you want to comment on the program for Saturday? You get pass him the mic there, please.
Yes, well, the program for Saturday, we're just here honoring Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday this coming Saturday at 1 p.m. We're going to be having a march from Plainfield City Hall. At 1 o'clock, we're going to be marching around up to 4th Street, on down to Park Avenue, on up to Front Street, and back on over to Watchung Avenue. We're going to march over to the Quaker Meeting House at 225 Watchung Avenue. And our chairman, Lawrence Ham, will be there. He's going to be our speaker. We got to honor Dr. King for the sacrifices that he has paid to give to us. So we're just here trying to honor the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King on this Saturday at 1 p.m.
All right, that's a wonderful thing. I'm looking at the Jet magazine here, December 22nd and 29th, article 2008, the other side of Beyonce, and I'm just looking at her, how over the years I've watched her grow from childlike to grown into a full-grown woman.
Yes.
And then she's a beautiful, beautiful sight to see, the big eyes on and everything. Very beautiful woman. And I was in a meeting the other day, and young people was comparing her and her sister. You know, they always, see what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
That's the same thing with marriage, with husband and wife. People always trying to put one against the other. And I was, and you know, he said, sister looked better than her, Beyonce did. I said, listen, Beyonce is growing into a full-grown woman. And not taking anything from her sister and everything, but she has not developed into that yet, but she's coming into it. You see, and we got to stop picking, you know, and even Christians too got some talking about she's conceited, she's just, it ain't that she's conceited or whatever. You just can't let everybody jump up in your face. If you know that right there today, if you don't say, hey, somebody see you got some energy, they want to jump, man, they just jump like they want to jump into you. You understand? You got to, hey, hold up. Back up a little bit. Now we talking all that touching and rubbing, and you know what I mean. You gotta check people and everything. And so you know, people talk about Beyonce, but she has truly evolved. And you know, and I remember her from the Survivor. You know that record, Survivor. I guess I was Survivor too at the time. All the old crazy relationship. Survivor. I had to listen to that record myself. I ain't the only man. I ain't the only man had to listen to it. Many times I thought about myself on it. I'm a survivor. But today I want to talk to you, Miss Jessica Walker, Doctor. What's happening in the black community that we're not getting married today? Do we have too much drama? Even in Christ, do we have too much drama?
Well, I think that when it comes to marriage, we have to understand where it actually originated from. If it originated from the Father, then he is the manufacturer of it.
Yes.
And if he's the manufacturer of it, he's the one that has all the blueprints. He has the rules, and I think we try to develop our own rules when it comes to relationship.
Sure.
Because we want to guard our own heart.
Right.
We don't want God to be the protector of us. We want to protect ourselves.
Well, let me say this right here, and coming up from what we came through in the Jim Crow law. Now, I was really raised at the kitchen table, like we're sitting at this round table. My mom and daddy talked about, because my father was 45 years older than me, so my mother was like 42. So their whole journey of talking really was civil rights. You understand? Talk a lot about, that's how I got a lot. I didn't get a lot from reading. I'm getting it now, but most of the stuff that I got was from them, and they sit around the table. And they talked about the Jim Crow law a lot, especially my mother. She talked about that law, man. That law was on the table every time I had cornbread and rice and beans, you see. So the idea is that coming up from what we come from today, and we have evolved economically.
Yes, we have.
Psychologically, we have evolved and things. Is the games the same? Because I'm meeting people that's talking I don't know. And they're talking a whole lot of things. I was with a woman the other day, and we were talking about relationships and things. And not only did she say about the brother had to have a good job, she said he had to have a good pedigree, meaning that she wanted to know what his mama did and grandmama and that grandmama and all that right there. She wanted to know if was he educated and this, that, and all. I sit there, I said, wow, I said, so in other words, if he was one in the family that just, God gave him an energy and popped him up, and he became the big CEO or whatever he became, I guess that still wouldn't be enough. She said, no, she wanted a pedigree. So what's going on with our psychology? What's going on with our mind? Are we sick or lame?
Well, in that case, I think she's a little sick, because now you're putting pressure, or you're putting a degree of person that you want in your life, a caliber of person. And first of all, I'm probably the wrong person to talk to with that, because I don't believe that women should be out there searching for men anyway. I believe the man's place is to find the woman.
Without a doubt, but even if he found her.
Even if he found her.
He ain't come along with that pedigree. He can't have her. No matter he find her, call the bishop or call whatever. No matter whether he beam it in like they did, what was it, Sweet Pea or whatever that guy is on CNN, whether they beam him in or whatever, he just ain't enough unless he has this thing. And I'm hearing a lot of this right here because today we seeing that a lot of these sisters, I call them big sisters, they making that long money today. And they making that long money and stuff, and they say they don't need a man and whatever. They don't, they becoming, and they're becoming a little hard to deal with, angry and things of that nature. I remember the time I used to run to them, and now I see myself moonwalking from them.
Well, you hit the nail on the head there. You're talking about angry women.
Angry.
Women that have been hurt, and they've placed all of their worth on the dollar sign.
Yes.
What they've accomplished in life and what they've been able to acquire through self-sacrificing,
Okay.
I guess, or I don't know how they got to where they got to. Sometimes people have sacrificed a lot to get to where they are.
Right.
Sure.
Some people have scratched and fought
Yes.
to get to where they were.
You're so right.
However they got there, they are putting more credence in how they got there than why they're there.
Well, and then it becomes a vicious circle, because a woman called me the other day and was talking to me about prayer for her sister. And they're down in Georgia, and I said, well, I'll pray. I said, now, what am I praying about? She said, the sister is a doctor, but she got some kind of muscle disease thing. I don't know, some kind of muscle disease. And she was living with this man that was just a common, a man, a station of life and things. But then now they wanted to take it to another level and get married. And the family is furious. The family is furious. They're mad because they feel that she should get a doctor too. You understand me? They want her to have a doctor. The whole family is part. They call in the Reverend, and I listened to him. I said, wait a minute. I'm not going to cast a prayer nowhere. I got kids out here that need parents. I got homeless out here that need this. People not paying their mortgages. I'm not casting a prayer for this foolishness is what get from before me, Satan. What I said. This is nothing but drama.
Yes, that's it.
And then her daughter cussed the man out. Cussed both of them out. I mean, cussed mine out. And then he would not, she come back later with her uncle to forgive, because he told her she was wrong, but he wouldn't pick his head up. And she, the mother talked to her. Of course, that's her daughter, but the stepfather never even recognized him as stepfather. Called him Johnny or whatever his name is. Never. I said, well, that's a stepfather, but they went right back to Johnny. They didn't want to claim that he should at least acknowledge that she said sorry. I said, but sometimes you can dig into somebody so hard that it takes a long time. Some people, right?
Yes.
Take that pickaxe and they go into you, boy.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Before artificial skin and things of that nature and filler, that hole would be there. Take a long time for that muscle to grow back up, see? So, and, I said, well, I can't say nothing about it. I imagine that, it's going to take him some time to heal from, because you don't know from the depths of what you said.
Yes.
So how do we, the families too. Everybody is so involved, and women today dating men on a sneak tip, dating men not on the down low, but on I guess undergo. I mean, they want to go give it under. On the undergo, they want to go to the movies, but they don't want people to know. You go to church with them, they don't want you to take them to church because they don't want people to you don't sit by me now, you know, because you're going to church because they got this circle, they forming these, and I'm not just picking on women, but this is what I'm hearing. These women today are forming these packs, you know what I mean, where if you don't come with, you know, whatever, you don't even worthy. But then the man will go to the church and then he get spirit and get notice. Get notice in spirit. Right? Now by somebody else.
There you go.
Now he's okay.
Right.
Right? Now he's accepted. Now you trying to reach back and he ain't trying to sit there. Well, you know what? I've been walking in here by myself for 6 months. I'm okay. Now the problem lies there.
That's right.
You know, we doing what other people used to do to us a lot. We're doing the same old thing.
Yes, we are.
We are starting to fight each other and tear each other down the same old way the man used to do us years ago. We have gotten it.
Oh, we got it.
We have not healed from it. And we're getting stupid and silly with it. So what do you do in a case like that? How do you, Doc, I don't know, but what do you do?
Well, you know, this is a deep subject.
I
because
told you
when
it was deep. That's why I
you
called you.
talk about you're dealing with the psyche of man. You're dealing with the soulish realm. That
Mankind. You're going to have to say man and
and
mankind. 'cause we don't put this
mankind.
on man no more.
No, I'm not.
We're going to put it on
When
both
I say
now.
man, I mean
Say mankind. Say
man and woman.
mankind. Say mankind.
Okay.
Mankind meaning, listen, for the Town Talker Talk Show, mankind means
Mankind.
woman and man. Let's lay the playing field right. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, you're dealing with the psyche of mankind. You're dealing with the soulish realm.
Yes.
You're not dealing with the spirit. They're not dealing with relationships out of a spiritual vein. They're
Okay.
dealing with it out of a soulish vein. And I know it sounds textbook, or it may not sound like reality, but that is the reality. You're dealing with a part of you that should be overwhelmed by the spiritual part of you. You're living from the outside in and not the inside out.
Yes.
So when you're living from the outside in, you're subject to all kinds of things. You realize you got generational curses that
Yes.
are affecting
Right.
mankind.
Yes,
You got things that people have to deal with on a regular basis because you haven't addressed it in the spirit. So therefore, you're talking about Christians. I'm hoping we're dealing with Christians.
Yes, we deal
because
with-
to deal with the world,
Right.
that's a whole different realm.
But that's what I'm saying. You got the same thing in the churches now that you have on the secular thing outside too. You understand me? You got the same kind of thing. You know, everybody seems to be they're holy in one hand,
Right.
but don't you follow? You understand me? You know, and they're holding everybody worrying about these little things, and we have basically the same thing going on again and again, whether it's in the church or out of the church and things. And I'll say this right here too, that there's a lot of available men out here for black women. There's a lot of black available men. Not to say we go where you want to go, but there's a whole lot of them out there, you know, today that can't even get a good one. Because she ain't coming because he don't possess the suit and the Lamborghini, you know what I'm talking about, and the flying house and things that they just don't come with the prestige. You see what I mean? Prestige is bigger sometimes than money.
Right, because we're being affected by what we see. We're looking on TV, and we're looking at people that are in a certain financial class, and we're looking at that, and we're desiring that, and so therefore we think by emulating it that we have it, and you don't really have it because you make just a little bit over 6 figures. You got 101,000.
Right.
So now you think that you have arrived.
And then your educational background and all that right there, whether you went to school and sometimes the man hadn't gone to school, and you seem to use that as a nuclear missile.
Yes.
So how do we, build a cold shield? I remember when they first went to Iraq, they called it Desert Shield. Then it became, after they shielded, then it became Desert Storm. Well, you understand what I mean? The shield, so the Iraqis wouldn't go no further. You understand me? So they got the fort together. Then they said, all right, now it's Desert Storm. So how do we, get from, the shield to actually getting together and holding hands and running into holy matrimony, running into happiness? Because I'm going to say this right here. A lot of our women are stressing out bad because there ain't no man there. And I know it.
Right.
I know what it is. You understand me? They can't. You know you. Even I remember trying to change a tire for a woman. I said, let me change it. I do it myself. I said, well, beautiful nails. You know, I couldn't dream of letting you do it and everything. And then the whole car fell down. You understand that? You know, whoa. Have you ever changed a tire before? Good thing we went on 78. You know what I mean? There are a whole lot of things going on. So how do we today? You understand me? You know, how do we change? I mean, you know, what can we do to land? We got to land because we're going to have this show every month. You know what I mean? On relationship and things. How do we land? How do we bring you in? What's going on?
Well, where is a person's relationship with Jesus Christ? Where is their
Oh, wait a minute. I'm glad you said that, Doc, because they read Bible all the way. I mean, these are people Bible reading.
Yeah, but you can read Bible.
And wait a minute. They're reading Bible, they're tithing, they're offering, they're doing all these things. See, this is what I'm trying to say. There's some superstition going on somewhere. They're doing all these things.
Do you live Bible? Do you live Bible? We read a lot of books. I read a lot of authors. And I don't live by every author that I read. But that book is not just simply something I should be reading. That's something I should be living.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, well, they say they live it, so I don't know. I know, Denise, you got any comments on it? You want to say something? I don't want to put Chairman Steve Hatchett in it.
Yes.
I would like to, but I don't want, because he got to get the people to come out to the march. They might not come.
Yes, just thinking about it in this vein.
Jesus.
If the man is truly seeking a wife, and he seeks someone who does not want to receive him because of his status, he's not making as much as she is, or, you know, she might feel that she is at a certain level, he's not there.
A lot of times, Denise, let me interject. A lot of times it's not really the forces of her that you got to fight. You got to fight with mother, sister, the whole family is involved in this, and that right there because sometimes she may be convinced. I've seen it where she was convinced. She was ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
She ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
She ready to get on. She ready to go. But then after the family get to her and they do a woolly headache on her, you understand me? Come on now.
Well, Reverend Zachariah, we have to stick with Scripture, and the Scripture says that the husband, he will leave his father and mother, and he will take a wife.
Yes.
So the family does play an important part, but it's between the man and the woman. They are the ones that become one.
That's the
Not
relationship
the family.
right there.
That's the relationship. The man and the woman.
And sometimes the family is a reverend of the big time church. Come on now.
That's all right, but
sometimes he's a reverend of a big time, you know what I mean, and stuff. And you
him.
Bible carrying and common man, and you can carry 12 Bible and get there and sweep the church floors, the church on the outside for the old folk to come in over the snow, and you still ain't worthy enough.
Wait a
because
minute,
of prestige.
anybody can be out of place.
How do we
care
get them back
where
in
they
place is what I want to know. Go ahead, Denise.
Once the choice has been made,
Yes.
the husband and wife have to stick together and be one.
This
Now,
is before husband and wife.
Before husband and wife.
You said husband and wife.
If they're dating.
Right,
If they're
they're dating. Go ahead.
If he has decided to choose her and she is in agreement with that, the family does not have anything to do with it. Not unless they allow the family to have that great of an influence on them, then they don't deserve to be together.
But sometimes the woman is beat down because of the journey in life that she had taken on and she had done, and the family was stuck by her. So they feel that there's a debt that need. I remember one time I said, "Well, listen, can we just pay this debt? How much is it? I take a loan. Can we just pay this debt and get this thing over with?" I love your family, we just can't. You understand me?
The family can't
come on now.
The family can't come with
They
it.
can't.
And that's the bottom line.
You're not marrying the family.
That's right. There's no getting around that. The family just cannot come, and their influence cannot be that great. It's one, husband and wife. And they have to reach that understanding before they even marry. The man and the woman has to come together and discuss these things.
And most relationships that start off with the family in it are the ones that end up in
But then we have what we also seeing is secret relationships where the woman may be journeying with this guy for 6 to 8 months and no one really know.
Okay.
They have a secret thing that maybe you know because you and her are real close, but the rest of the girls don't know because you don't fit that social economic status. Oh, there's a whole lot of game going on. I'm trying to get my sisters and my brothers to the altar to get married, and the way God has led me, say, you know what? Do not hold back. The Church of What's Happening Now, Town Talk, a talk show. This round table of talk we ain't holding back.
That's right.
Not this year.
You're
All
right.
right.
Okay, throw me off there if you want, but we ain't holding back.
Okay.
Okay, so now I want to know, how do we land this year? Come on, you finish it up. We got
Well-
about a minute, 2 minutes.
The way we gotta land, somebody has to understand what commitment is. Commitment is not about me being committed to my whole family,
Okay,
my whole family values.
Uh-huh.
I, as a woman, have to be committed to the man that I'm getting ready to marry.
all right.
If he's going to be the man of my life,
That's
my
right.
husband, then I have to listen to him. Even we have to come to a oneness, just like Elder Clark says. We have to be one even before we walk up that aisle.
Yes, without a doubt. Without a doubt, the marriage
Because-
start way before then.
Because if we start that, if we start this teeter-tottering before it even happens, guarantee you when it happens, it's not going to be happening long. It's going to stop happening
Yes.
soon after it happens.
I hear you.
So what we have to do is establish game plan. And we can't establish game plan as a Christian, not if you're dealing with me. You can't establish game plan as a Christian and eliminate the word of God.
That's right.
Because the Bible in Ephesians speaks specifically about relationships.
That's right, that's right.
Paul talked about relationships. And we, as people of God, we go away from the word of God. And when we do that, we get into self. And self never supported us.
That's the truth. But
Self never got us nowhere.
that's right, that's right. But again, as I say, that this right here is a big thing.
And it
And
sure
it's
is.
a big thing in the church.
It
You
is.
understand me? And people are not really talking about it. As I say, this year here, the Town Talker Talk Show, we will not hold back this year. We have a whole lot of things coming up to you this year. May God be with you. We're gonna finish with, what we're gonna finish with? Barack
Obama!
Barack
Obama!
Barack
Obama!